All right, let's get right into it. If you're in Ethiopia and you've ever had that dream of making your own video game but just had no idea where to even begin, this is for you.
Sound familiar? You've got all these amazing ideas buzzing around in your head. You've got the passion, but that first step, man, it just feels like staring up at a giant mountain. Where do you possibly start?
Well, guess what? You're in exactly the right place. We're going to take that huge, overwhelming question and turn it into a really simple, clear roadmap. Let's talk about the first steps on your journey.
Okay, first things first. It all starts with the right mindset. Before you can even think about building the next global hit, you've got to build a solid foundation. And that foundation, it's all about small projects that teach you some really big lessons.
So here's the #1 rule, and it's absolutely crucial. Fight that urge to create your epic, open-world dream game right out of the gate. Seriously. Instead, you're going to start something simple and, more importantly, something you can actually finish. Think about it. A fun little quiz game, a simple puzzle, or an endless runner. These are perfect because they teach you all the basics without completely burning you out.
And if you need proof that small is powerful, just look at this. Flappy Bird was a massive global sensation, right? And it was made by just one person in a couple of days. It's the perfect reminder that a super simple idea, if you do it well, can be incredibly fun and wildly successful.
Now for our next big idea, you learn by doing. Every single project you actually finish, it doesn't matter how small or simple it is a huge win. It doesn't have to be perfect. The real magic happens in the act of completing something from start to finish. That's where you pick up those priceless skills in coding, design, and even storytelling.
And this really gets to the core of it, you know? You can watch tutorials forever, you can read all the books, but the real learning, the stuff that actually sticks with you, happens when you're in the trenches, building something. Your goal isn't some flawless masterpiece, no. Your goal is a finished game. That's your classroom.
Okay, so you're starting small, you're actually finishing your projects, and you're learning a ton. Awesome. But now for the next big question. Who are you making these games for? Let's get strategic and talk about how you can reach players right there in Ethiopia.
The answer is literally in almost everyone's pocket. If you want to connect with players in Ethiopia, you have to think mobile first. It is, hands down, the most direct and powerful way to get your game into the hands of the people all around you.
So why mobile? Well, the numbers don't lie. In Ethiopia, when people talk about gaming, they're pretty much talking about mobile gaming. And the vast majority of those phones, they're Androids. So this isn't just a fun fact. This is your whole strategy. By focusing on Android, you're aiming directly at the biggest possible audience right from day one.
We've covered the practical first moves and who you're aiming for. Now, let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture, the long-term vision for your whole career as a game developer.
This is so important to remember. Your first game is not going to be perfect, and that's completely okay. Every little project you finish is another stepping stone. It's building your skills, it's building your confidence, and it's building your portfolio. Each one is paving the way for you to take on bigger and cooler projects later on.
And hey, if you need a real-world example, just look at a giant like Ubisoft. The people behind Assassin's Creed didn't start with that. They started back in the 80s as a few brothers in France making tiny little educational games. And with every single small project, they learned more, they grew, and they put that knowledge into the next thing, slowly building their way up to become the global powerhouse they are today. That is dream big, grow slow in action.
So, there you have it. That's your 4-step blueprint. You start small with games you can actually finish. You learn by doing, not by chasing some impossible idea of perfection. You think mobile first to connect with your local Ethiopian audience. And you dream big, but you grow slow, knowing that every single game you make is a step forward. That's the way.
And that really brings us to the most important part of all of this. We've laid out the path, the strategy, the whole mindset. Your very first project is step 1 on this amazing journey. So the only real question left is, what are you gonna build?